we got the chance to speak to the cast of Bad Sisters on Apple TV+. Check out our conversation with Anne-Marie Duff and Fiona Shaw. I am so glad that you guys are back, because I thought it was one and done. And then when I heard season 2 was coming back, I was very, very excited. I want to kick things off with you, Anne-Marie. In both seasons, I think you have the unenviable task of finding meaning in a fraught relationship. I think in season 1, we needed to believe that there was something in JP that Grace could love.
Yeah.
And I think you gave us that. In season 2, I think we have to believe that you were friends with Angelica, and there must have been a reason for it.
That's very true.
So can you talk to me about how you approach those relationships?
It's interesting because the first thing that Fiona and I said to each other on the read-through for season 2 was, so how do we create what you've just talked about?
What hasn't been seen?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Awesome.
because there was no mention even of Angelica in season 1. So you had to believe that there was this intimacy, not just a friendship, but an actual intimacy that was born out of my grief. There's a fantastic line, isn't there, is it in episode 3 perhaps, where somebody maybe BB calls Angelica a grief thief? I can't remember.
Yes.
You know, but I love that line so much, made me laugh out loud. But, you know, so you have to believe that the invisible string between us is very strong. Like you say, otherwise there's no jeopardy, because if they're just ridiculous. And Claes and I worked very hard on trying to create a marriage. We absolutely knew that we had to tell the story of coercion as truthfully as possible inside a comedy, or the audience wouldn't care and wouldn't, you know, will the women on in murdering him. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. It had to feel, we had to sort of see snippets of tenderness between Angelica and Grace. You're right.
Yeah, and you know, you do more than just, I mean, I think it was in episode 3 or episode 2, I think someone says, oh, Grace always saw the good in people. But I think you do more than that, which is why the character is so believable. And Fiona, I think we all know an Angelica. And you are so deliciously detestable in this role. And I was wondering, when you were going over this character in your head, did you see her as a true believer? Like, there's one episode when she's lying in the hospital bed and she goes, I don't know why this is happening to me. I'm kind to everyone. And I'm just like, does she believe that?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, self-aggrandizement is always comically very good. And she really, thinks she's a very important friend, of course, here. And secondly, there's another line she says in the hospital room. She says, a miracle. Jonah was in the whale for 3 days. Yes. And I was in the water for 3 hours. I just laughed when I heard that the other day. I mean, that's amazingly solipsistic. So, you know, of course you know an Angelica, and I know an Angelica. And it's just this boundaryless, self-important feeling that really hints at somebody who has an emptiness in them and a loneliness. And I think that's, you know, if one can be compassionate about every character, you have to say that.
Yes, and I think you have to believe that she is the hero of her own story, right? To make it work.
I mean, the hero of everybody's story. That's the problem. I think she thinks she's the hero of every, you know, she is the hero. Yeah, she's in a movie of her own life, and she's playing absolutely the heroine. Mm-hmm. And her brother plays a kind of a minor role, and her friendship plays a major role. And of course, and is a marvelous tool of her self-aggrandizement. She's able
absolutely.
Every feeling about her friend.
Can I say I'm impressed with myself for having spoken to you for 5 minutes and not given anything away, because yes. Episode 2 was a real doozy. And but I will say this: I've got like 30 seconds before I go. I finished season 1 and I thought, you know what? That was a perfect season. I'm done. It was great. No need season 2. Now that you're back for season 2, I think you guys should just keep doing this. For as long as you possibly can.
They should do 3.
Right?
That now, loud and proud. Do 3.
Thanks so much, ladies. It's been an absolute pleasure. I am such a huge fan of both of you. And Fiona, you in Andor. Bye for now. That was Fiona Shaw and Anne-Marie Duff. You can watch the second season of Bad Sisters on Apple TV Plus. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Sound off in the comments. And thank you so much for watching.